Anyway, to the phone lines we go. It is open lines. Michael, welcome to the program.
Okay, I've been listening for about a year. This is my first time calling, so I'm surprised I got through.
Oh, I'm glad you made it. What's up?
So I wanted to share something with you. I had a disagreement with my father, which doesn't happen very long. I wanted to know your perspective on the situation.
Okay.
So my father's a conservative like I am, and he refers to socialists as two different types. He believes there are good socialists and there are bad socialists. You know, the bad ones, the moochers, and those who just want to take. And then there's the good ones who genuinely think that that's the best way to solve all of humanity's problems.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I personally don't think there's such a thing as a good socialist. Because if you were a socialist, you must necessarily believe that all people are responsible for caring for one another and providing for one another.
Mm-hmm.
And if you believe that, then you should be living like Mother Teresa, and it's immoral for you to spend anything on yourself for pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And furthermore, if you really think that that's the best answer, then form your own private socialist network so that you can provide for anybody who wants or chooses to join.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you want my opinion on it?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I saw a tweet the other day from a young lady. I have no idea who she was, but she was responding to one of these celebrities. Oh, it was the guy that plays the Hulk. He got beat up pretty bad by a political commentator. She took him to the woodshed, but he was talking about how capitalism is horrible and hurts all of us and everything. Keep in mind, this is a guy who makes tens of millions of dollars per stupid movie that he makes. And somebody had tweeted out and said, I can't wait until I'm so rich that I don't like capitalism anymore, or that I don't need capitalism anymore. and I, I'm paraphrasing what she said, but it was so succinct and proper. I agree with you. There's no such thing as a good socialist because all of them are liars and all of them are hypocrites.
That really was my opinion. So this is one of the things that I do see eye to eye with you on then.
Yeah, I mean, now that doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad people per se, as in they're not evil, okay? But their ideology is wrong, and their ideology has led to the slaughter of hundreds of millions of people. And then, of course, not just the slaughter of it, but the starvation of, the abuses of. There isn't a positive socialist country that has been created.
Well, not only the effect, but I'm thinking about the motivation. I have to say I am friends with a few people who profess to be socialists.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that they've unpacked that philosophically and they've recognized their own motives behind that.
I agree with you. I don't think they're actually socialists. If we're talking about real socialists, no, I don't believe that there is a possibility of there being a good one. Now, they may have some philosophical beliefs that lean towards a more socialized or communal philosophy. But as far as it actually being socialism, no, I don't think they are actually socialist. Like I said, it's hard to be a socialist running around with a stupid iPhone in your pocket.
Exactly.
All of these Antifa protesters out there who hate capitalism and everything else, all of them use capitalism for their daily lives to make themselves comfortable and to continue to make money. I always laugh when I go to college campuses and the local communist newspaper is selling for like $3 or $4 an issue. And if you try to just snag one and walk off with it, they get really mad that you don't want to, that you want to take it for free. And it's like, wait a minute, it's communist. What are you talking about? And I agree with you on this. I don't think that there's a good socialist. I really don't. I'm not saying they're Hitler or Stalin. I just, if there are good people, they may be calling themselves socialists, but they don't understand it. Russia's kind of talking about this today, that most people don't really understand what socialism is. There's I think it was a campus reform video that was going around here recently that said, if people really like the idea of Medicare for all until you explain it to them. And the moment you explain it to them, they really don't like it. So there's a lot of people who are socialist, or they ascribe themselves to be socialist, but they don't know anything about it. And if you explain it to them, they're not all in. I think
that's also partially because they don't understand where the government gets its money.
Yeah, I think there's part of that. Yeah, it's if you were to explain to somebody like, okay, let's talk about socialism. Cool. What do you want to do for a living? And then once they answer, you interrupt them and go, it doesn't matter. The old Rock WWE thing. It doesn't matter what you want to do for a living because socialism says that you're going to do what the society needs you to do. Now, you typically find that in more communist structures, but socialism is communism. It is it is the natural evolution of it. Socialism starts off soft and then gets really hard. Once people realize that socialism isn't working out and they start resisting, then socialism naturally transcends into communism.
Well, it has to do. Communism is a more pure application of socialism, really.
Right. You usually start off with socialism, and then the people realize, hey, this kind of sucks. And that's when the government says, all right, we're communists now because we're going to force you to do it. So once you start having an awakening that socialism is problematic and isn't going to give you the things that you want to get, then the government has to become even more authoritarian and force your hand. And that's where you get these very rigid communist ideologies and regimes. So I know. I agree with you, man. Totally.
Okay. Wish more kids listen to this program.
I'm working on it. I'm one single mom at a time. I'm kidding. All right, Michael, appreciate it. You take care, man.
You too. Thanks.
All right. I had to get that out there. I'm in a mood today. 574-25-95-95-3. Dan, welcome to the program.
Hi, Casey.
Hi there.
How's it going?
What's up?
Okay, so I have a question for you. I don't know if it's opinion or just your intellect that I'm probing here.
Okay.
I need to try and figure out, without the bias of Google, who the smartest people in the world are. Like the top 10. How would I go about doing that?
Okay, are we talking intellectual scores or are we talking about specific issues? Because there's a lot of bright people who are really dumb on some issues.
Right. But I'm talking like, Heisenberg and Einstein and, Stephen Hawking level intellects.
Heisenberg. What, Joe? What?
I forgot that Heisenberg was an actual scientist.
But here's the thing. He was. And we're all sitting here, we're going, Idiocracy is a documentary, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, it's a preview.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Okay. Without Google's biases. Okay, so this is not going to be factual, okay? This is going to be my opinion, all right?
Right.
The way that I would probably unpack this is I would look at the most monumental scientific breakthroughs of the past 200 years. That's probably where I would start. Okay. And then I would probably take from that and start whittling down the list. And then I would start eliminating the people who stole from other people. You know who you are. I don't need to say anything.
Right.
But regardless of whatever your list makes up, your list has Tesla on it or you're wrong.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Okay.
And that's the type of intellect, that intuitive intellect that I'm looking for.
Right. Tesla, who has been ripped off and stolen from, but is clearly one of the greatest geniuses of all of human history.
Right.
Yeah. I listened to a podcast, and I love the podcast, and they have a sponsor, and I get that they have a sponsor, but the sponsor was talking about this product that they have, which helps prevent you from getting sick. And they're like, Socrates said that all disease starts in the gut. I'm like, I don't care what that guy says. He doesn't know anything. He was a critical thinker back in the day, and that's cool, but the heck does he know about disease?
Didn't he die from somebody poisoning him?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up, but that's, yeah. But I mean, it's okay. He's a smart guy. He's a critical thinker, whatever, philosopher, but what the heck does he know about actual disease and organisms and stuff? But
right.
So, but a lot of people would probably put him up there as a really, really bright guy. I tend to lean towards the scientific as opposed to the philosophical, and I also would tend to lean towards hard scientific accomplishment, because I'm sure that there's a lot of people would put the Stephen Hawking on that list. Stephen Hawking had no theory be proven true, not one.
Right.
So he might be smart. He might be bright. He was certainly interesting.
Yeah, very much so.
But he's 0%
right.
in his theories.
As far as facts.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, in 100 years, that may very well change. But
at
this point in time,
that long.
Yeah, I mean, he can't be on the list because he has no tangible success. Right. But Einstein, I think, would probably have to be in contention. Tesla has to be on there. But yeah, that's just how I would go about doing it. But again, it's going to depend on what's important to you.
Right. And I'm going to need, specialties from like several different categories, astrophysics.
Yeah. I'm sure that there'd be more than one Israeli on there too. I mean, the stuff that they have done with telecommunications, I think is phenomenal.
Right.
But yeah,
I agree with that 100%.
So, all right, man. I appreciate it. Hope that helped.
Hey, I thank you very much, man.
You take care. Have a good holiday.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Gingerbread House.